Hello everyone, my name is Nikhil Moga. Welcome back to this channel. In this video, we will discuss the procedure for registration of Indian insurance companies under IRDAI regulations. The IRDAI or Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India is a regulatory body that governs the insurance industry in India. It frames policies and procedures that may require the insurers to follow in order to comply with the disclosure and reporting requirements under the relevant guidelines. The procedure for registration is governed by IRDAI Registration of Indian Insurance Companies Regulation 2022. It is a new regulation issued with the aim to promote growth of insurance sector through simplifying the registration process and to promote ease of doing business. Now, what is the procedure of registration of Indian insurance companies? The first step in the process is requirement of no objection certificate. It requires the company or cooperative society to obtain a no objection certificate before incorporating in India with the name insurance or assurance or reinsurance. The applicant is issued the no objection certificate from the authority upon the request by making an application in the specified format. The NOC issued shall be valid for a period of 6 months within which the applicant is required to make registration application. However, the period of such NOC may be further extended for a period of 3 months. The second step in the process is R1 approval. The company shall make request for acquisition of registration by making an application before the authority for issuance of form IRDAI R1. The authority will examine the application for the applicant and upon satisfaction issue the form IRDAI R1, which will be valid for a period of 3 months and within which the applicant is required to submit the duly filled form IRDAI R1 before the authority. Such period may be extended by the authority for a further period of 3 months. It is further required that the application shall be accompanied by the following documents: Certificate of Incorporation issued by ROC or Registration Certificate of Cooperative Society, Certified copy of Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association, Certificate of Bylaws in case of Cooperative Society, Name, Address and Occupation of Promoters, Directors or Applicant, Certified copy of Shareholders Agreement, Approved Projection of Business for 5 years along with Certificate from Fellow Actuary that the projections are reasonable and workable, Proof of Payment. Now, what are the additional measures that can be taken by the authority while approving form IRDAI R1? The authority, while approving the form, can take into account the following matters. It can ask for general task record of conduct and performance of promoters and investors in the field of business or profession they are engaged in. It can ask for the record of conduct and performance of directors and persons in management of promoters, investors and applicant. It can inquire about the financial strength of the investors, promoters and applicant. It can inquire about the capital structure of the investors, promoters and applicant. It can ask for source of meeting the capital requirements. It can ask for shareholding pattern of promoters and applicants. It can judge the ability to underwrite insurance business in third-party risk of motor vehicles. It can ask for the planned infrastructure of the applicant. It can ask for the proposed business plan for 5 succeeding years including establishment of place of business in rural areas. In the next step of the R1 approval, the chairperson of the authority will issue the R1 certificate upon examining the application and satisfaction. In addition to the approval, the applicant will be issued the application for registration in the form IRDAI R2. The validity of the R1 approval shall be effective for a period of 3 months from the approval date within which the applicant shall file duly filled form IRDAI R2. However, the said period may be extended by the chairperson for a further period of 3 months. The third step in the process is R2 approval. It includes filing of registration application in the form IRDAI R2 along with the following documents: affidavit from the applicant and promoters signifying that the paid up share capital of the applicant after reducing the prelim expenses is adequate, statement signifying the shareholding pattern of the applicant on the application date, affidavit from MD or CEO or whole-time director of the promoters and investors of the applicant certifying that the foreign paid up equity capital is calculated as per Indian Insurance Company Foreign Investment Rules 2015 and it does not exceed 74% of the total paid up capital of the applicant. Affidavit from cooperative society if the foreign capital holding is not more than 26% of the total capital of the applicant. Affidavit from the MD or CEO or whole-time director and promoter of the applicant certifying the condition imposed by the authority are complied with in case of foreign investment. Affidavit from MD, CEO or whole-time director and the promoters of the applicant in case the foreign investment exceeds 49%. Certified copy of standard forms of applicant. Certified copy of MOU, management agreement or shareholders agreement or voting rights agreement or any agreement entered between the promoters and investors. Certificate from CA or CS certifying that all the requirements in respect of registration fee, share capital for investment are complied with in terms of regulation. Proof of payment. Now, what are the additional measures taken by the authority while approving Form IRDAI R2? The authority, while approving the form, can take into account the following matters. It can ask for the nature of insurance products offered by the applicant. It can ask for level of actuarial, accounting, professional expertise in the management. It can ask for organizational structure of the applicant to carry on all functions in respect of insurance business. It can ask from the applicant whether it is eligible and able to meet the obligations imposed by the authority. It can ask if the financial condition and the general character of the management are sound. It can ask if the capital structure and the earning prospectus of the applicant are adequate. In the last step of R2 approval, the authority, after examining the application, will issue the R2 approval to the applicant for the registration of Indian Insurance Company. The fourth step in the process of registration is grant of certificate or registration. The authority, after examining the details of the applicant, will register the applicant as an insurer. The chairperson of the authority will grant the registration certificate to the applicant in the form IRDAI R3, provided the following conditions are satisfied. The applicant and its investor or promoter are fit and proper on continuous basis. The lock-in period on the shareholding of promoter and investor commences from the date of grant of registration certificate. The promoter and investor shall not create any encumbrance on the equity shares over the lock-in period. The shareholders of the applicant can create encumbrance on the equity shares of the insurer subject to the prior written approval by the authority. The applicant and promoter shall be bound by all the conditions specified in Form IRDAI R3. The fifth step in the process is commencement of insurance business. The applicant granted the registration certificate should commence its business within 12 months from the date of granting the registration certificate. If the applicant does not commence his business within 12 months, in that case the certificate registration will not be valid after the expiry of said period. However, the applicant can seek an extension of the time limit through a written application if in case it is unable to commence the business within the stipulated time period of 12 months. The application for extension shall be accompanied by the reason in writing for not commencing the business within the stipulated time. Now we will discuss what can be the reasons for rejection of application. The authority, after giving an opportunity of being heard to the applicant, will reject the application through an order in writing in the following cases. The application is incomplete, the requirements under the regulation are not fulfilled, and any other reasons. Moreover, it is pertinent to mention here that if the application for registration is rejected at any stage, in that case, the applicant should not be entitled to a certificate of registration. However, such an order can be appealed by the applicant before the Securities Appellate Tribunal at any stage of the registration process. For more such update, please subscribe to the channel.